Hello, everyone. Welcome to Connect with California Phones. My name is Ole Kagan. I'm the Community Engagement Coordinator for LA County Library. I would like to introduce our speakers for today. Teresa Tong is an outreach specialist and has been with the California Phones program for over 20 years. She hails from the island of Hawaii and calls California her home away from home. Helping others has been her source of encouragement and longevity in this field. Prior to COVID, you would have found her in the field at senior facilities and health and cultural fairs in the community. Even though most of her work is done virtually right now, she looks forward to the day when she can meet people face to face again. She's excited to be with you today. And joining her today is Kendra Troyella. She's a field operations specialist too, out of Santa Barbara. On any given day, you may find her at a service center, at a health fair, or helping a customer set up their phone. She has worked for CTAP since 2012 and enjoys the variety in her job that allows her to drive or video chat around Southern California, meeting new people and helping them gain better communication. Well, we are in for a treat today. And with that, I bring up Teresa Tong to share with you how to connect with California phones. Teresa, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Oleg. I can't see any of you, but I would venture to guess that maintaining quality of life and independence is of high importance to you. And we're so happy to have this opportunity to share with you today, who we are, how we're funded, what kind of equipment and services we provide, and how you can connect with us and become a part of our program. I'm going to share some of the commercials that you might have seen since COVID. A lot of us have been home for a while, so perhaps you've seen some of these. So I'm going to share my screen. So let me know if you can hear and see this.
Now California Phones offers free devices and accessories for your mobile phone, like this device to increase volume on your cell phone. Get details on this state program. Call 1-800-330-5100 or visit californiaphones.org. California Phones offers free specialized phones like cordless phones, big button and volume enhanced phones. Get details on this state program. Call 1-800-330-5100 or visit californiaphones.org.
Did you know California has a state program that offers free, specialized phones for people with difficulty hearing, seeing, moving, speaking, or remembering? If you're a California resident, applying is easy. There are no income requirements. Just fill out the first section, sign, ask your doctor to sign, then mail, fax, or email the form. Call today, 1-800-330-5100, or download an application at californiaphones.org.
Okay, just out of curiosity, if you've seen those commercials, can you just put it in the chat that you've seen it or not? Also, there was a number that was listed on there, so I hope you didn't write that down because that just lets us know that you saw the commercial. So we're going to give you a different number to contact us during the slides I'm going to share with you. So pull that up.
This is Kendra. I will also put that in the chat so everyone has access to it.
Thank you. Okay, now I'm trying to get my slides to come down. Okay.
Teresa, you might want to switch off optimize for video because that'll remove that little bar that's in the middle there, and it'll make your slides a little bit more crisp.
Okay, how do I do that? Let's see.
So there should be the 3 dots on the right hand side.
Yes.
And you should be able to just uncheck that. Optimize for video.
Oh, okay, got it. How's that?
Much better.
Okay. That's another tip I have just learned today.
There you go. I just learned last week, so we're both learning.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Sure.
So here is my information, and you can, if you can put that, take that down, or just we can put that in the chat again later on. But just wanted to go over how, how did we get our start? We actually got started when a group of deaf and hard of hearing activists went to Sacramento. They lobbied and they wanted equal access to communication. So we were able to implement Senate Bill 597, and that helped us to get the TTYs. I don't know if you're familiar with TTY, which is teletypewriter. It's like the telephone now. So if you have two people have the same piece of equipment, you can call each other, right? So the TTY, if both parties have a TTY, they can call each other. But if one didn't have it, then we would not be able to complete that conversation. So in 83, we were able to get Senate Bill 244 in place. So now we have a relay system that could connect someone that has a TTY with someone that doesn't have a TTY. So I'm going to go into more detail a little bit later. But currently, our Senate Bill 60 has allowed us to include all equipment for people with hearing, vision, mobility, speech, and memory, not just the hearing and the deaf community. So you might wonder, how is it free? Why is it no charge? So if you were to go look on your phone bill, there is a surcharge on there called California Relay Service and Communication Devices Fund. So, that's, if you're curious, I hope you'll go and take a look at that today. So it doesn't matter if it's your landline phone or your cell phone, that should be on there. So there's no age, no income, and no insurance requirement to be in our program. And of course, our goal is to get equipment into the hands of those that have all the different categories that I mentioned: the hearing, the seeing, the moving, speaking, and learning or remembering challenges. So each category has different levels. So it doesn't mean that you're deaf. Maybe you just can't hear different tones. Maybe you're not bedridden, but maybe you have arthritis in your fingers. So dialing is a little bit painful. It's difficult. Speaking could be no speech to someone who stutters. So there's a lot of different levels and different kinds of areas that we need to look at. So we're going to go over some of them. But first of all, I want to show you the TTY, which is teletypewriter. It was also called TDD, telecommunication device for the deaf. So those of you that remember what a typewriter looks like, the keyboard is similar to that. And then we have the captioning here, and then a light indicator that flashes when an incoming call is coming in. So each person is entitled to get, they're eligible to get a telephone and an accessory. So an accessory in this case could be a loud ringer, it could be a light flasher that you can attach as well. So maybe someone is watching TV, so they can't hear the phone ring. So we can attach a flasher. So whenever it does ring, their lamp will flash. And we can give you 2 of those. But we have a lot of different accessories. And as we go through the slides, I want you to think that this is not the only piece of equipment we have for that category. It's just representative of one piece of equipment in that category. So we have other TTYs that are available. And so you'll see this as we go along. So that relay system that I mentioned is called California Relay Service, and it's available by dialing 711. So I'm going to bring your attention to the 3 circles at the top here. So I'm going to be the one on the far left, and I'm calling my friend on the far right who's deaf. So what I would do is I'm going to dial 711, and I'm going to get the operator who's in the middle. So whatever I say, she's going to type it into her TTY. My friend is going to read that, type in a response, and then she's going to verbalize that to me. That's how simple it is. So it's just one number, 711. We also have a direct English and Spanish line, and this is available 24/7, and it's free for all users. Now, in line with this service, we have a service called Speech to Speech. This is also available by dialing 711. So anyone that has difficulty with speech, they stutter, they're using artificial larynx, and it can get frustrating for both parties to get that conversation going. And if they call the operator is trained to know about different speech challenges and able to help translate or just reiterate what is being said. So this is also available 24/7, and it's free for all users. So this is a phone that we have for outgoing speech. But again, as I mentioned, a lot of our phones fall under several categories. So this particular phone, although it has outgoing speech amplification, it also has the loud volume for incoming calls and the tone control. The large buttons are lighted, so someone that has mobility issues, they can also qualify to get this. It has speakerphone. It's got the one-touch speed dialing. This is a very good phone especially for someone with hearing loss. In terms of accessories for someone with speech, we have the anti-stuttering device, we have an artificial larynx, and of course the TTY that you saw earlier. So this is another phone for hearing. It has a loud volume, the tone control, the large lighted keypad, the one-touch speed dialing. This also has the caller ID. So it has a date and the time when the caller ID is not being utilized. And it does have the light that will flash when the phone rings as well. So someone with difficulty in vision, we have this one here that has the extra large buttons. They're about the size of a quarter. So you see there's high contrast. So this one has the white on black, but we also have the black on white. So you can't see it, but there is Braille as well. And we have what we call talking keypads. So what that means is when I dial a number, it's going to verbalize it. It's going to say that number back to me. So if I can't see it, I can hear it. So I have that verbal confirmation that I dialed the right number. So the previous two phones that you saw, they also have that capability of turning that feature on. Now, this particular phone, another thing about it is that you can record the language in a different language. So if I speak, Mandarin, I can change the numbers to have it speak to me in Mandarin, the numbers, or also when I'm programming in speed dialing numbers. So my doctor, my family members, I could also record that in my own voice or have someone record it for me. Other phones that we have for vision have speaker phones, and then some of them have the lighted keypads. The one that you saw earlier, those two do have the lighted keypads. This one is not lighted. For moving, we have this here. This is a basic cordless phone. So you see there's a simple talk button, one for on, talk for off. And it's got the large buttons. It's got the loud volume, the tone control, the speakerphone. It can repeat numbers back to you. It's got pretty much all the bells and whistles that you saw that we talked about earlier. And the best thing is you can carry it around with you. We also have phones with remote operation. So if someone is bedridden, we do have a phone that has different accessories you can attach to it. For example, we have a pillow switch, we have a pedal switch, we have for quadriplegic, we have an air switch. So what that means is they can just blow into a tube and they can dial a call or they can answer a call using that accessory. Kendra, is anything you might want to add from what I talked about so far?
No, but we're getting some good questions about equipment, which we can answer in a little bit.
Okay, and I'm going to have Kendra also show the Panasonic later on too. This is a Panasonic is one of our most popular phones, and everybody knows the brand Panasonic. And it does have a feature where you can slow people down when they're talking too fast. So I'm just giving you a little heads up, getting you excited about it, hopefully. So this is a phone for learning and remembering, and you can see here we've got the photos. So I can put in pictures of people, but maybe I don't have their photo. I don't have a photo of my doctor. So I can maybe get a picture of something that represents my doctor, and I can put that picture there, right? Or maybe I know Jane loves to look at the stars, so I can put a picture of a star, and I know that's Jane. So whatever memory trigger is going to work for the person using the equipment, I can put that in there. So this one also has the speed dialing, and it has the ability to change the volume. So, oops, sorry. We also have a voice activated dialer as an accessory to this, or also a photo dialer. So if maybe someone has like 20 contacts and this is not enough, we can add that on there. A voice activated dialer is I can program it. I can pick up the handset and say, call Kendra work, and it will dial it for me because I've had it programmed that way. So those are accessories that we have. So mobile accessories, these are for someone with hearing loss. So the top one here, these are also what we call Bluetooth compatible devices. So if you have a smartphone, you can pair it with these devices to enhance the volume on your cell phone. So the top one is a Quattro, and if you connect it with your Bluetooth, and if you have hearing aids with Bluetooth, it will bring the sound directly to your hearing aids. If you do not have hearing aids that are Bluetooth compatible, then you would have to wear earbuds for this to work. And this one does the volume. You can adjust the volume on this one. The bottom one is our standalone. It's a hear-all device. It's the most popular. It also has a tone control. So the tone is what brings in clarity of sound. And this one also has the ability to put it on speaker and also on handset. So on speakers, say for example, you're calling the doctor with your family members and they want to know what's going on too. That's a good way of using the speaker. Also, maybe you're sharing a video or you're watching a movie together, you have some great tunes you want to share with someone, you can put it on speaker mode. But maybe you're waiting for dial-a-ride and there's a lot of traffic, right? You can put it on the handset mode. Or maybe you're in Costco, you're like trying to find your family, it's a lot of noise, it's hard to hear, you put it on handset mode. So there's different ways of using this device. We also have a Panasonic Bluetooth, the same model that I mentioned earlier. We'll have Kendra show you that to you. So you can get that also for if you don't have a landline anymore. In addition to this, I just wanted to bring up that we do have smartphone training classes. They're basic right now, but we do have them in Chinese, Cantonese, Mandarin, and then we are launching our Spanish soon. So these are still online, but hopefully when things get rolling again, we can start to get them back in person. So if you're interested, we can also give you information on that. So let's go and talk about how to become a part of our program or how to contact us. So here's a sample of our application form. And I mentioned earlier, there's no age, no income, and no insurance requirement to apply for a program. But we do have 3 requirements. So the first is that you live in California. The second is that you have telephone service, either landline or cell. And of course, you have to have difficulty in one of these 5 areas: the hearing, seeing, moving, speaking, and learning or remembering. So the application form is very simple to fill out, and you actually have to sign it on the bottom. There's a highlighted section at the very bottom. Sign that, and then next step is to bring it to a certifying agent. So here's a list of certifying agents. I'm not sure if anyone's calling in, so I'll just read off a few. It could be your medical doctor, your eye doctor, your ear doctor, your audiologist at Costco, right? So you bring it to them, they sign it, and they can either give it back to you or they can actually fax it in directly to us. So there's different ways of doing this as well. So this is what their section looks like, where they fill out. And I wanted to point out this area here where they would check off. So if it's hearing loss, they may check off, is it mild, is it moderate, is it severe? So this really helps us to make that proper assessment when we're giving out equipment. So of course, we prefer the applicant to come in to see us so they can be the one to say, okay, this I like the way it feels in my hand. I can hear it very well, but sometimes it's not possible. Sometimes they have family members that come to see us. I mean, we can go into the homes. Kendra goes into the homes. She's one of our staff that does that, and they make assessment. They can bring equipment, but some people are not comfortable with that because of COVID and other circumstances. So if it happens that a family member comes to see us or the equipment is requested over the phone, this helps us to make that the proper assessment. So say, for example, if you remember the photo phone I showed you earlier, that one is for mild hearing loss. So if someone says, I like that phone, but they have severe hearing loss, we will not be giving that out. We would give a different phone, and we might give out either the photo dialer or voice dialer in addition to that equipment. So that's why I wanted to point that out to you. So once this is filled out, either the application is either mailed to us, it's faxed to us, or the applicant comes see us in person. So if the person cannot see us in person and they prefer that we mail it, one of our staff will be calling and asking what kind of equipment they prefer. And then we either ship it or we can have it dropped off in front of the house. So there's different ways again of doing that too. Kendra, did you want to add anything since you are our field staff?
No, exactly what you mentioned, that if you're not able to come to us, we can come to you. And we really do try to make this process as easy as possible. Keep the requirements nice and simple, live in California, have a need, and have that need documented by your doctor or other certifying agent. If I'm coming to your home and working with you to make sure that we're finding the best date that can fit in both of our schedules, and when I'm there, I'm making sure that we're getting the right equipment for you, for your needs and how you use the phone, and making sure you understand how to use the equipment before I leave. It's nothing extremely out of the ordinary what we may be providing you, but it is just new equipment. And rather than try to read that manual, I essentially act as your manual that you can ask questions to live and in person, and walk you through the steps of how to use the phone. So that's a really nice part of our program, that we never sort of leave you alone with the equipment and say good luck. We are here for you down the road if you have questions or any concerns.
Thank you, Kendra. I just also wanted to reiterate that, each person can get a telephone and an accessory. Now, if any of you have had equipment from us in the past, it's not working, I want to encourage you to contact us, because we will either fix it or replace what you have. Do not throw it away. Do not give it away, because we do have a strict exchange policy, and we can maybe do a one-time exception, but once, if you lose a second time, then we're not able to give you a third piece of equipment. So please remember to contact us. And some of you may have the Panasonic, where you have rechargeable batteries. I just wanted to point out, if you put in regular batteries, the phone will malfunction and you might think it's not working anymore, but it could be just the batteries. So those are something that we can actually ship to you, or you can come in and pick it up from us. If you had equipment in the past, but you don't have an accessory, you can contact us and we can get you an accessory too. So those are a couple of things I wanted to mention. Now, this is a map of all of our service centers, and we have our part-time centers and our full-time. So part-time means that we're not there, every day of the week. It could be specific days of the week and specific times. So like Kendra is in Santa Barbara. She's there twice a month. We have West Covina. West Covina is open 3 times a month, every second, third, and fourth Tuesday. I believe Santa Barbara is the second, fourth. Is that correct, Kendra?
Correct.
On Wednesdays. So from 9 to 3, but there is a 1-hour break from 12 to 1 for lunch. So if this is all this information is on our website. And you can see our website on the bottom here, www.californiaphones.org. Our contact center is open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. This is a list of all of our direct language line numbers. Now you're going to say, well, I speak French, or, I speak a different language that's not on here. I speak German. So you can call our 800 number and we can get an interpreter on the line. So we always do not want to leave you in a lurch. If you have a family member that, you work 8 to 5, or you don't have time to call us during the day because you're too busy. Have your parent or your family member, your friend, call us on our English line, and we can get an interpreter to help with that call. So, and again, there's my information. So Kendra, did you want to share the website and also I'm going to have Kendra show the Panasonic, and anything else that you might want to see. Kendra is there at the office. She can show you live the equipment, and if you have any questions, we want to answer those as well.
So I did share the training, or excuse me, the website information in the chat, californiaphones.org. There was a question about the application, and it is on our website, and you can select different languages on the website as well. So you can definitely find it there. I've also included our phone numbers. And if you are able to see Teresa's background, it does have our general contact phone number on it, and in the chat, 1-800-806-1191. And then also for our smartphone training. So our smartphone training started a few years ago. I don't know, it flies by, but I thought I was pretty good as far as smartphones go, and it turns out there's a lot that I did not know that proved helpful. And I keep learning new things every day. So our smartphone training is really great for knowing the very basics about the phone, even if you're like, I don't know how to turn this thing on. We go over that, but also how to make the words a little bit larger so you can see your texts nice and clear, how to answer text, how to call people, adjust the volume, and just little tips and tricks along the way, which have proven helpful to me. And I think a lot of my coworkers, and we hear really good feedback about the program. So that's been a nice addition to our program. And with the smartphone training, we mentioned our Bluetooth equipment, and Teresa mentioned that. So in the past few years, we've been adding more accessories for our cell phones. Somebody asked, are this cell phone accessories or any accessory free as well? Everything in the program is free. We do not charge for any part of it. So we will never be asking you for a check or cash or any of that. We provide you a set of equipment if that is necessary, meaning maybe you get a landline phone, you want something nice and large buttoned for the home, but you also have some hearing difficulty and you need something like this guy right here, the Hear All, which attaches by Bluetooth to your cell phone. You just press to answer and you have really great volume and tone control. So it can help you when you're outside of the home because maybe you can't hear your cell phone as well as you'd like. This is our Panasonic Bluetooth phone. We also have, this one is specifically Bluetooth. We also have a silver one. It looks exactly the same. It's just a different color. And the silver one is for the home. But I'm just going to show you this one. And what I'm showing right now is the handset. We provide one handset if it's a cordless phone. What you can do if you have multiple rooms and we don't want you to be running around to try to answer the phone, keep this with you. There is a little belt loop that you can use if you'd like. I've had customers kind of create a little purse either for themselves or if they use a rollator or walker, they've also just kept this in there. Take it from room to room with you and answer when you get a phone call. This Bluetooth works just like any other standard phone. It's connected to your cell phone. You press talk to answer and end to hang up, and you can make calls directly from here. There's a button on here that says slow, which is really neat. What happens is it's slowing down a live conversation just a little bit. So if you're having trouble comprehending what somebody is saying, And this can be whether or not you have hearing difficulty. If somebody's talking 5 miles a minute, you're going, I don't know what you're saying. So you have that ability, as well as adjusting the volume and having these larger buttons with that you can really feel on with your fingers. And then if you do have the traditional landline, this part is an answering machine, and you can slow down the answering machine message. So if somebody's talking really fast, you have a few different speeds that you can slow them down with. There's normal, slow, and very slow. So that's been really, really nice.
Kendra, can I just jump in and just reiterate that what Kendra just mentioned is the black one is our Panasonic that is a Bluetooth compatible. So that one, if you have that version, the answer machine does not work because your messages go directly to your cell phone. But if you have the traditional landline and you have the answer machine, then you can use that function. Also, Kendra, did you want to talk about the X-Link?
Yeah, and of course, I don't think I have that right behind me, but we just started providing something called the X-Link, which is basically a baseball card device that just connects to the power, and your landline phone connects to the X-Link. What this does is, let's say you're like me, and yes, I work for a program that provides landlines, but I don't have a landline. I just have a cell phone. But if I need something that feels like a landline, that is a landline, maybe because those phones have larger buttons and I need to be able to see those larger buttons, maybe there's a specific feature of a landline phone, whether it's maybe sometimes memory. It feels really familiar to you, so I understand it better and I will use it because I understand it. The X-Link allows us to just connect to your cell phone, but you pick up the landline phone and you dial from there. You can answer from your landline. It functions exactly like you're used to, but it gets its dial tone from your cell phone. So if, let's say, you need a large button phone like this, but don't have that landline connection, we can still provide this as long as you have a cell phone with Bluetooth, and most cell phones do these days. I do want to answer a couple of questions that came up. Let's see, and I know we answered about extra handsets. Keep in mind, if you have multiple people in the same house who have a need, each person can get a phone. So if my husband and I either have the same need or different needs, we can each apply and receive equipment. And let's see, I'm gonna keep looking through the questions. I think we might have answered them.
Also, just keep in mind in that question about the handsets, I mean, you don't have to get rid of the ones you have already. You can just add our phone to what you already have so that you have the louder volume and everything. And we also have what we call line splitters. So you can use that one jack and split it into 2 or 3.
Yeah, this is Kendra. That is something I do since I go into the homes fairly frequently. We will be creative with you. If you need extra handsets and you already have that as part of your home environment and you want to keep them, we figure it out so that everything can work together. And there is a question, can the landline be VoIP, like UMA, for instance? Yes. So if you have sort of I would say, non-traditional landline like UMA, we can still set up the equipment. It's just important to note, because it's not getting its signal the traditional way through your telephone company, sometimes that signal can jump in and out. That's not equipment dependent. It's just something that can happen. Just like your internet signal, sometimes it sort of can drop in or out, and that same thing happens with those digital lines. And there's a question, do we have basic cell phones? We do not at this time provide cell phones. We provide cell phone equipment, meaning accessories that can be used with your existing cell phone. Everything that we've talked about, Teresa mentioned, excuse me, we did not provide an example of all of our equipment. And also, things change down the road. A few years ago, we did not have Bluetooth equipment. If there is something that you're curious about, do we have, would it work for you? Check out our website, californiaphones.org. Give us a call at our phone number, 1-800-806-1191. If we don't have something now, maybe we'll have it in the future. And if you see something out there that you're thinking, oh man, this would be amazing if they provided, let us know, give us your feedback. That's always really appreciated. And then do you have to disclose anything financial? No, we do not ask for any income information. We don't ask for your social security. We don't even ask for your specific age. You can give us the year you were born, but that's voluntary. So it's pretty, we try to keep it pretty simple and only ask for the information we need.
Did you answer this question? Does Bluetooth only work on some phones? I think, did you answer that question?
No. Bluetooth in general. So some phones, I would say 99.9% of the cell phones you get these days has Bluetooth. It's pretty uncommon not to get one with Bluetooth. The only sort of exception, I would say, our equipment should work with anything with Bluetooth. Sometimes the software that's the hardware that's on it, the Bluetooth is a bit of an older version and doesn't work universally with everything. So if you have like a really old cell phone, it's always good to check with us face-to-face and try to connect the device to make sure it will work with your specific cell phone.
Yeah, I wanted to add to that because some of the flip phones, the older flip phones will not work, but some of the newer flip phones will connect. So yes, so we can test it. That will help to know if it really does work or not. There was a question about, I don't know if did you answer Jane's question about her mother having moving and learning, remembering difficulties?
No, I did not.
Okay. So it says her landline phone jack is against the wall, but she sits 4 feet away. Is there a way to set up the phone so that it sits on the coffee table and can be recharged from there without her having to get out of her chair and cross to the desk to where the phone sits now?
So short answer, yes. We can provide a longer phone line, and that can help you. 4 feet gives us a pretty good distance. And then if need be, you can get a longer cord for the phone as well, or just getting a extension. It just depends. It can be really helpful sometimes for us to go in the home, especially when you know that you're set up. Somebody sits in this specific chair most of the day. but everything to connect the phone is several feet to the next room away. And we go in and we kind of help to figure it out and how we need to set it up so that it can be usable for our customer.
There's a couple of things. So Jane says a longer cord makes for a tripping hazard. So sometimes, we could put it under the rug, or there's also a different way of tacking it. So yes, Kendra is very good at finding ways. Also, Jane had another question about are the add-on accessories for people with difficulty learning, remembering also free, or is the phone itself a loss leader and the phone earns money from the accessories, and the phone program earns money from the accessories? So no, everything is free. Yeah, everything, there's no charge. Lazella had a question. Do you have any offices for people living in Kern or San Bernardino counties? Do they have to drive to Riverside or Fresno if they want to see someone in person? Yes, we only have Riverside and all the offices that you saw on the map, but we do have staff that go into the homes like Kendra, as I mentioned. So if you can't come to us, we can send someone to the home if that's something that you're comfortable with.
And as things start to open up again, sometimes we do events in different places, senior centers, libraries, where we provide equipment when maybe our office is a little bit further away. We haven't been doing that for a little while because of COVID, but hopefully that will start to happen again. And you can always call our number to see if anything's happening near you.
Oh, also, if you know of any groups that might be interested in a presentation, you belong to a church or an organization, we're happy to go places right now, and we can also do it virtually like we are right now. So let us know. We want to challenge you also to think about people that you think could benefit from this program. You may have a family member, a friend, a neighbor across the street. They can never hear when someone's calling them on the phone. Their children are always rushing over to see if they're okay. Let us know. That's what we want to, that's what we're here for. And I don't see any more questions. If there's any more questions, please do put them in the chat. We still have a little bit more time.
Oh, wonderful.
Thank you.
CD is providing our information to the La Crescenta Women's Club. So.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you, Teresa and Kendra. We had a question from Sandra. How long has this program been around?
My goodness. 1980, what is that?
1980s. So that's a few years.
Yeah. You've been around a while. 40 years?
Yeah, at least I think we're going on maybe 42 years actually.
Oh, there's a question. Margot is going to be getting a hearing aid, and it will connect via Bluetooth. I don't think you need an accessory if it connects with Bluetooth. So I'm glad. That's good. I hope that it will help your conversations be clearer and better for you.
Perfect. So it seems like, the program is still going to be open for a little while. I'm going to talk about next week's programs. So, so if anybody has questions while I talk about those, do post them in the chat or the Q&A portion. So let me do that right now, just to give anybody out there who is still thinking about questions or formulating their thoughts a little bit of time to do that. I do want to say that a couple of people have mentioned the need for closed captioning for our programs, and I agree, and I'm working on it. Thank you very much to all those who have brought that up. Any suggestions you have are always appreciated. So let me check what we have coming up Next week, next Thursday, March 31st at 11 a.m., we have how to take marvelous cell phone photos. I'm going to post the registration for that in the chat. The idea is that you will learn the basics of framing, focusing, filtering photos shot with your smartphone. So it's going to you're going to get tips and tricks for taking better pictures with your phone. So that's coming up next Thursday. I just posted the registration link in the chat. We had a question that just came up in the Q&A. Do you have to make an appointment?
No. So if you're coming to one of our offices, you don't have to make an appointment. You can just walk in. If you're requesting that somebody come to your home, that's when we're going to go ahead and make the appointment.
Thank you very much. And Teresa, Kendra, very much appreciated. Oh, Emma just posted, is the Glendale Center open?
Yes, it is.
That's
Kendra's there right now.
Fantastic. All the answers are yes. So I like this presentation. All right. Well, it is getting to be about 11:45. And if anybody does have questions, I'm going to be sending out a follow-up email next week with some more information about this program and all of the contact information. And I'll include Teresa and Kendra's information within that email. So if you have follow-up questions for them or want to get in touch with them, by all means, you will be able to do that. And so if you think of any questions between now and next week, those questions can be answered for you in the future.
Oh, can I throw out something real quick?
Of course.
Our marketing department is going to be rebranding. We're going to also be known as California Connect. So when you see that in the future, because we've had a lot of name changes, we had California, Telephone Equipment Loan Program, California Telephone Access Program, and now at California Phones. So when you see California Connect, that is us too. So that's coming up.
That's good to know. I just posted it in the chat also, and I'm switching it in my mind. So now in the future when I talk, so should we start talking about it as California Connect now?
They haven't been given the official word that, we're switching completely over we're just transitioning. So,
okay. So
that's fine. Yeah.
Coming up.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that covers it. And again, very much appreciated. And to all of folks out there, thank you very much for sticking with us and asking all of your questions. I know that if one person has a question, that means that probably several people in the audience have that question as well. All right. And with that, thank you again, and good morning and good afternoon to all.